Okay, so about this whole black magic thing we had in the family, let me tell you what happened. Last year, my aunt came from Saudi. She'd lived there since childhood and never really believed in this sort of thing. She'd think, yeah, some people believe in black magic, but she didn't accept it for real. So at first, none of us thought it could be that. In November, she suddenly got very, very sick. There were constant fights in the house, arguments breaking out over nothing. Somebody finally said, I think this might be evil eye or some kind of magic. She brushed it off for no, that stuff doesn't happen, not to me. So she went to a psychiatrist for counseling, but it didn't help. Her mother, my grandmother, who's very religious, started to think it was spiritual. She began reciting Surah Baqarah at home. My aunt reacted violently, like physically snapping and yelling to stop, even tried to shut the Quran. She told my grandmother she didn't need to read it. Grandma sensed something was wrong but didn't say much. Then they told my uncle, my aunt's husband, to take her somewhere to a healer they'd known since childhood, a peer, because when they were kids he used to help people. She went to that peer's place a few times. He told her to come every Wednesday for 7 weeks, something like that. They went for a few weeks, but there wasn't much improvement. The fights kept happening. They had no home here, they'd come from Saudi and were staying with us, and we were seeing these fights happen every day over the stupidest things. One day she finally admitted to us, nothing we do is helping, I can't be treated. That same day something changed. The thing inside her, whatever spirit it was, showed itself. She started acting like in a movie where a spirit possesses someone, jerky movements, strange sounds, full on violent behavior. Grandma opened the Quran and started reciting, and she screamed, "Stop, shut the Quran." It got extremely intense. There was a single light bulb in the room. Power had been unreliable, so only one bulb was on. She pointed at that bulb and it suddenly flared so bright, it exploded. Everyone was terrified. Her son, who believes in these things, said obviously something is wrong. After that she got a little better, but then worse again. They rushed her, it was late at night, to a different peer they'd known for years. That peer told them, this has been done with very strong black magic, it'll take time. He read prayers and some other verses, and one by one the jinn started coming out. He asked the jinn their names, and the jinn were talking through her. He told us that some of the spirits said there had been burials, something done in a cemetery, and that the black magic here was filthy, very nasty. He said he couldn't fully do it, the jinn themselves admitted it was beyond a certain person's power to break. But he said he could at least temporarily fix her and remove some of the jinn. After he worked on her for a day or two she was better. But then my aunt started saying she felt heavy, like something pressing on her. She said when she read any Quran, the right side of her body would twist to the left would twist to the right, her whole face was crooked, physically. On a Friday we all went to the mosque for prayer except for my grandmother and my aunt, who stayed home. When we came back, my aunt was completely out of line by grandma, like one of those extreme movie scenes. She said she couldn't pray, she couldn't stand. We tried to have her recite Surah Al-Fatiha and she got through 4 times only, then she collapsed, fainted, was unconscious for 2 hours. When she came to, she was talking about things she should never know, random details, private things. She even said, your phone is gonna ring, and then my phone did ring. She named whose phone it was, my cousin's, and it was right, the call was from my cousin. She kept spitting out details consistently, like the spirits were answering questions through her. There was another layer. My aunt accused my uncle's sister she was helping take care of her of doing magic on her because my uncle had helped the woman's son get a job. My aunt became convinced the sister had cast something so her son would get employed, and then later the sister admitted, okay, yes, I did something, but insisted it wasn't what people thought. Still, my aunt became obsessed, saying she wouldn't forgive or let it go. So we took her to another peer, someone reputed to be very powerful. We went in the middle of the night, and as we got closer to his neighborhood, my aunt totally flipped out. She became hyper, violent, yelling at strangers, don't tell them, don't tell them. We pushed through and made it to his house. She refused to go in at first, but they coaxed her in, told her to sit quietly in a corner, finger on lips like a child. She sat there, trembling. The peer told everyone to leave the room. He asked her to be brought to him and began to recite. He read Surah Kalam, he read other verses and special prayers, and he blew into water and told her to drink it. One jinn after another, they said, came out. The peer told us that black magic had been done multiple times. He said every time someone casts a spell there is a spirit attached whose job is to make the magic work, so over time there had been many talismans and spirits attached to her. There were so many that if he tried to remove them all in one day, her body would not have stood it. He kept saying, I can get them out, but we must be careful and do this gradually. He removed some jinn that day and gave her an amulet, a taviz, and told her to wear it. She went unconscious again after that. Because they were from Saudi, they were skeptical about wearing an amulet. A week later she took it off. A few days after this she went out to sell vegetables. She used to do that and a dog went with her. When she came back she said the dog had brought the jinn back into her. She was convinced the dog had breathed on her and carried the spirit. We have a small separate room for the dog, and the dog was tied there. You can see him through the window from our entrance. The dog has a little black spot on his eye, the exact same black spot as some stray dogs standing outside our gate. My aunt looked through the window and saw that dog standing staring at her. She said, "No, it isn't a dog, that's a jinn." And in front of us the dog disappeared. It didn't walk away, it just vanished. That terrified us. After that the spirit possession became more forceful. The jinn actually spoke in a deep heavy voice and not my aunt's voice. Like in the movies when the voice changes and becomes guttural and massive. Her mouth became crooked, she couldn't recite the Quran. When she came back to consciousness for a second she tried to read and then would lose it. We went back to the earlier peer who had more sternness. He would shout at the jinn in a way that seemed to scare them. Once, as my aunt screamed, a metal cup flew and hit the wall. After some of that, the peer said, "It's over, there's no more problem for now, but keep the amulet on." He was confident that the jinn actually would sit down and be quiet when he commanded. He told us that once someone has been targeted by black magic, that person's immunity or spiritual protection becomes weaker, like an internal system gets compromised, so spirits get more attracted to them. That's why they had so many attachments. He said if we had delayed coming for even a couple of days, she might have died. The situation had two possible outcomes. Either the jinn completes its mission and the person dies, or the jinn fails and you get treated, but the body is left damaged for months. In the end, after a couple of months of intense treatment, prayers, and wearing the amulet, my aunt improved spiritually, the possession stopped. But physically she was badly weakened for a long time. She slowly recovered, but those months were really hard. That's the whole story, how it started with disbelief, then got worse, the psychiatrist didn't help, the Quran recitation, the ball bursting, the dog, and the disappearing figure like a Death Reaper I saw in Fajr, a pitch black figure, completely black, like something out of Hollywood, the smell, the metal cup flying, the voices, the multiple peers and their treatments, the amulet, and finally the recovery, though with a lot of physical damage left behind.